What's up, Internet? It's your boy, the Noob. Sadly, he's a little under the weather, so instead of going out like he wanted to, I decided that I'm going to look at the fall season of anime. So come along with me as I discuss the 7 animes that I found that I have to watch. Now, the fall season of anime starts around October, and the previous seasons have been pretty good. This one, I really wasn't finding much. I found 7 that I wanted to watch, a whole crap load of maybes, and a whole crap load of not a snowball's chance in hell. So I decided to only talk about the 7 that I really want to watch. So we're going to start, and most of these are not in any particular order. Just the first one and the last one are the only 2 that are in their spots. And now the first one I'm going to talk about is on the low end of the spectrum. So let's start with there. I have notes. Okay, so the first anime is something called SSSS Gridman. Now, what caught my eye on this was back in the 90s, there was a 1-season show where this kid would strum a guitar and he gets sucked into the computer, become this robot, and fight viruses. Well, this seems to be the anime version of that. The story involves a character known as Yuta Hibiki, who of course wakes up with amnesia and can see things that others cannot. When he finds an old computer and gets introduced to Gridman, he is told that he has to fulfill his purpose. Now, he doesn't know what's happening, but all he knows is that kaiju is starting to show up and he has to deal with it. Now, like I said, this reminded me of an old show which was done like the Power Rangers, where they spliced Japanese live-action shows and then Americans doing their part. I actually liked the show as a kid. I actually had a couple of the toys, because there was the humanoid robot, and then other people had access to these other machines that became his armor. I kind of am getting the nostalgia feel for this one. That's why I'm actually going to be watching this one. Alright, so the next one on the list is actually something that I have been reading the manga for a while. It's a very cute manga, and I'm kind of happy to see that it's turned into an anime. Now, I can't speak Japanese, so I'm probably going to pronounce the names wrong. I apologize if anyone does know how to properly pronounce these, but do forgive me. Tonari no Kyoshou Suki-san. Now, the whole premise of this anime or manga is a high school girl known as Akiri was lost in the forest, and she gets rescued by this vampire girl named Sophie. Akari likes Sophie because, 1, she saved her, and 2, she has this affinity with those dolls, and Sophie reminds her of a living doll, and she wants to dress her up. At some point, she starts living with her, and it's just a cute anime of these cute girls interacting. One's a vampire, one's a human, and it's a slice of life dealing with that. It's something that I like to read because it kind of cleanses your palate from watching or reading all these, hyperactive animes that take themselves too seriously. I'm actually going to be watching this, and I hope you do too. Alright, the next one is also based off of a manga that I've been watching, which I was surprised to see got an anime adaptation. There's only had a couple books out, and it's definitely ecchi, but not to the extreme ecchi. So let me explain it to you. Otona no Boku Gar Sun is an anime where this person who gets rescued by this girl, he wants to find a job and repay her and stuff like that. When he finds this shop that has a job opening for a store clerk, he goes in. He finds that the girl works there. But the shop is a little odd because there's not a lot of customers, and you come to find out that all the armor is very scantily clad and aimed towards women, and the owner does that kind of a mixture of a pervert and also because kind of design. It's a cute manga, but like I said, there's only a couple out, so I'm not sure how this is going to be. I'm going to watch it to give it a try. The few that I've read, I've liked, but I'm also worried that they're going to go too far in the ecchi field, so we'll have to watch and see from there. Alright, the next one that I'm going to be talking about is one that I've not read or seen, but I have heard that it was a manga. I kind of ignored it because I thought it was going to be something that went down the stupid ecchi route, but people on Discord have been telling me that I should read it and to check out this anime, because if it's like the anime, it's not going to be stupidly perverted. The anime is called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Now, as you can imagine from there, my first thoughts was, okay, it's a isekai, which is that whole reincarnation transfer to another world style. But your main character is transferred into a slime. Now, my first thought was, well, this is where he's going to get perverted. He's going to stretch out and grope girls. But apparently, after reading the synopsis, it's not like that. Apparently, he's a slime with unique abilities. And yes, there's going to be kind of a harem because it looks like there's a lot of girls in it. But from, like I said, from what people have told me online, and just from the trailer that I saw, it does look like it's going to be kind of interesting. So I am going to sit down and check it out. I'm going to give it a couple episodes, and if I like the episodes, I'm actually going to go back and try reading the manga, because I like mangas. Alright, now the next one is another that was recommended to me. It's got a manga, it's getting an anime, and apparently people are hyped to see this one. It is called Goblin Slayer. Basically, a young priestess, she forms a party, and she goes out because she wants to go on adventures. But apparently her party gets decimated or something, and just before she gets killed, she gets saved by this adventurer known as Goblin Slayer. What I find interesting about this is, from what I'm told and from just the trailer that I saw, it looks like it's not one of those happy fantasies. Like, I've heard that it's dark and gory, and Goblin Slayer is the kind of person that just does not care. He's here to kill goblins, nothing else. Just seeing the trailer alone and hearing all the people that I talk to talk about this makes me want to check it out. So I'm actually going into it with fresh eyes, so I have absolutely no clue what's going on. So let me know what you think. Have you been waiting for that one? Because like I said, it's apparently popular, and I'm kind of bummed I never added it to my list. Alright, now the next one I'm putting in the fall, even though it did already start already, and it might already be finished. I still haven't checked it out because I don't know where to classify, so I threw it into the fall section. It is Coulee Alternative. If you have not seen the Coulee series, either the first one or Progressive, stop what you're doing now and go watch it. It's Coulee. You got Haruhi, and you got the Vespa, and you've got the guitar, and you've got stuff coming out of young people's heads. It is fun. Even though each of the seasons are very short, I think they only have like 6 episodes each. In those 6 episodes is a great story. I always love it. There's comedy, there's action, and the stories actually are about coming of age, about those teenagers who are reaching the point where usually their hormones and stuff are getting in the way, but I liked it. So it's only 6 episodes. From what I hear, that's what, 3 hours? Go check it out. And now the number one that I have been waiting for 8 goddamn years, and I'm not the only one. A Certain Magical Index is finally coming back out with a season 3. If you have not watched this series, go watch it. It is what I consider one of the best balances of magic and science in any anime that I have ever seen. You got your main character, Toma, who unfortunately is not considered anything special in the science field, but you find out later that he's got this ability to negate psychic powers and apparently magic powers. He gets dragged into the world of the magic side with the church, thanks to coming in contact with this little nun known Index. And my favorite part of this anime, which a lot of people do not understand, is the way he defeats people is they've got powers, but he can neglect them with his right hand to the point where he usually ends each fight by punching the shit out of someone. And the funny part is, most of the people he fights and beats eventually become his allies later, which is hilarious. Even some of the women in here, it's like this guy punched you and yet somehow you kind of now have a thing for him. It's completely hilarious. I actually jump back to the series when I'm bored or when I, just want to refresh and be happy. This is my go-to happy anime. I love it. I want you to check it out. Like I said, this will be the 3rd season. It's had 2 seasons and 1 movie from what I can remember. It's also had a spin-off with a certain scientific railgun, which a lot of people consider the better one. I still like it, but I think since I came into Index first, I think that's why I like it. And I've actually been reading the mangas on both those. There's actually a 3rd manga involving Accelerator, which was this pain in the ass bad guy who is still a pain in the ass throughout the series. He's not quite a good guy, but still, I just love his character. Anyways, that was my list of animes that I'm going to be watching this season. Now, like I said, there's a bunch of I don't knows that I'm actually have on the list, but I'm going to let those go for a while. I'm going to check the synopsis because either they didn't give anything, or from what I'm told, they're not good, or as I've read some of them, I'm just like, this is clickbait and fan service. And fan service isn't bad, but sometimes it's just not worth it. And sadly, there's a lot that I just said hell no to. So everyone, what did you think of my list? Did you like it? Was there anything that you wanted to suggest to me that I have not put on my list that's coming out this fall? Is there anything that you want me to avoid so I don't have to ruin my plate? Let me know what you think. Anyways, I'm the Noob. I'll catch y'all later. See ya.